I think King Arthur is very different from your previous movies about the tone. This is very dramatic. Even if when you laugh in the movie, you just can understand it's but just to lighten a bit the dramatic tone. How did you work in order to find this new tone in your cinema?
Well, that's a challenge. You know, I like people giving me challenges and for me trying to come up with a tone. So if you walked in here and asked me to make a movie about an astronaut, it wouldn't be long before I come up with some kind of a narrative to address that. Not that I'm particularly interested in astronauts, but it's the challenge that I like. But with King Arthur, I was always interested in King Arthur, principally because I was familiar with it as a narrative when I was young, and I wanted to create some kind of a luscious narrative to and present what felt like a fresh and contemporary take.
One thing that really amazed me about the movie was the music, the soundtrack. How did you work with Daniel Pemberton in order to find, because most of especially the drums, the percussions are very obsessive during the movie.
Yes.
The sound. How do you work on that?
I have to tell you, it was a very violent relationship. Lots of hate and tiny amounts of love. Mm-hmm. I like Daniel. He has very thick skin and takes an enormous amount of abuse from me. But you know, we worked on that. Score for 3 years. The score was so important because it really created the bridge between a historical world, if you will, take that with a pinch of salt, and the contemporary fantasy. And in order to make it feel contemporary, but to give its credibility in some form of antiquity, then you needed the soundtrack to form that bridge. And that's really what we were interested in doing. One of the songs we used was 1,000 years old, and all the instruments we used were also antiquated. But once we played with it through a couple of machines, you get all the aggression.
Yes. If you had the chance to be King of England for just one day, what would be the first thing you would do?
Make sure that I remain king for more than one day.
No rules to change or stuff in your country?
No, I mean, I tell you, I'm a big fan of England. I'm not interested in politics particularly, but I'm interested in the culture of England, and I love it. I find it a very civilized place to live. I like the countryside and like the fact it's not too warm. Mm-hmm. By the way, I like my holidays in Italy, though.
Where?
Many places I haven't been, but you know, last movie was it I made was we spent a month in Rome and a month in Naples. Okay. I adored Naples.